am in Lone Pine right now. And I'm at the Lone Mountain Cemetery. The key to this that's kind of interesting is that you have the Lone Mountain Cemetery here. Then down this little dirt road you have the Chinese Cemetery. I'm going to take a look at both. See what we see. Look at how nice this looks. Looks like all the concrete work has been recently done. Let's see if we can find some dates on these. And there's 1976. Look at how nice these squares are though. These are all brand new. The headstones are old. There's 2004, 1983. They're all, of course, English people, English names. These are nice. Look at these little, these are probably the children here. Let's see if I can see any dates on these. Oh, look at it, it's just a little brick. How sweet. Here, Bruce here only lived one day.
Well, I missed the boarding
Byron doesn't even say how long.
for my flights.
So obviously the cemetery has been maintained over the years. They've done a really nice job keeping it up. Frank Hoskins, 1954. James Hoskins, 1914. Isabel. This is the Hoskins family. Costello family. Look at this. Someone left a fishing pole. How sweet. Here was a person that was loved. Let's see, what do you have here? Oh, just recently died in 2018. Huh. So obviously this cemetery is in really nice shape. Oh, here's an old wood one. Let's see what the date on this one is. Sometimes you see these, just these little cages out in the middle of the desert by themselves. Whoa, tombstone, right? Look at this beauty. Let's see if we can see any dates on it or anything. No, it's all worn off. The one next to it might have a little more information. Died 1891. 25 years old. So this was the old part of the cemetery. You're gonna find the oldest dates in here, I think. There's Esther Reed, Virgil Reed, 1898.
Your patience. I don't want to see.
1939 here.
You can't stand it. No, can't stand it.
There's the Park family.
I don't want to see.
So you look at people who were out here in the 1800s and you think, man, most of them were probably miners, maybe farmers.
Can't stand
Wow, look at the finish on this concrete. Let's see if we can see it. Can you see the swirl in the concrete top? So nice. Got a little hummingbird running there. Little crosses, probably for children. These are all so small. Here, this child, Joseph Bauer, lived for 2 days.
So
Yeah.
come on, baby.
John Bauer
Where's
lived for
that
1 day.
old love?
Maybe they were twins.
I never thought this world had any love.
Promised. This is the public cemetery for everybody.
But you know,
Down this little road is the Chinese cemetery. So we're gonna go down there. It's not too far, but I'm gonna drive down there and we'll take a look at that one. Again, regular cemetery over here behind this little fence. Okay, you can turn around. There's the American flag. And this is the Chinese cemetery. Jesus, folks. No love whatsoever. Here, let's just bury someone in a chimney right here. Look at this. It's just a chimney. Got a little perfume bottle in there. Some tiles. An urn pot. But whoever came through and took care of that cemetery there obviously said, well, what do we care? The thing about it is we can't discount the work and the influence that the Chinese had on the Western United States. The Japanese influence, the foreign influence that had. But there's such a deep prejudice towards people. Back then it was really bad for the Chinese. They were just came out here, were expected to work and then expected to go back home. The railroad here passes right through Lovelock, and so they were hugely instrumental in building the Western Railroad. But someone came out and put a little vase on them all. You can see a little vase. No headstones. No weeding. This is a Chinese cemetery. And this is pretty much it. They weren't allowed to be buried in the main cemetery. So they were buried in a little side cemetery. It's just worth reflecting on how we take a look at our fellow man. What do we see when we see them? It's like if you look at a house, you see a wall. What do you see when you see that wall? You see paint. That's all you see. You don't see the sheetrock. You don't see the nailing. You don't see the substrate, whatever's underneath there. All you see is paint. And when you look at a person, all you see is paint. You don't see anything behind the paint until you actually get in there and start looking at it closely. All you see is paint. And yet to think that people feel somehow that someone, because of the paint, is inferior, is less valued as a human being, cares less about their children, about their families, about their communities. So much so that you would even just bury them in a different place because you didn't think that they would get along with the same people who were buried in the main cemetery when they're dead. Jesus, folks, we've got a long, long ways to go.